Hello again, 102ers. We've made it through the first week of the semester, and now it's time to roll on, picking up the pace and hurtling towards the next one. Are you ready? Hopefully, the wind and cold and snow didn't get you too much, because I need those fingers working to type. If you can't type, then you have to drive to my house, sit out front, verbally complete a discussion board. That would be a bit awkward, wouldn't it? Let's just stay warm out there, okay? Starting off, I wanted to show you this week's announcement. Now, they all follow the same format every week. First, I have a greeting here telling you, hi, how you doing? What we did last week, what we're doing this week, and then there is a plea to watch the video that I'm including each week. I know they're not Oscar-worthy, but I hope that they're able to help you through some of the more difficult parts of the week's materials. After that, we have the video chapter listing showing you exactly which section of the video probably means the most to you. We then have a preview section. Now, the preview section is there to show you what's coming up and what you're working towards. Next, we have the read and review, or the read and review, read or review, whatever. And it's there to show you, what to read and look over again. There is sometimes a complete section. And these are for items that don't get graded but kind of need to be done. And then there's a final submit or assignments section that really does count towards your grade. See? There it is. Look for it every Monday morning, okay? I'm not sure why the banner's not popping up again, but it's not. But anyway, let's not dilly-dally. Let's go quick so we don't really go over 15 minutes unless we have to. First, I want you to go over the view the course schedule. Click on the link right here, and we'll get to the masterclass schedule. Scroll right down to week 2. As you can see, we have off on Monday for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Once again, it is also Inauguration Day, but that is not why we have a day off. We have a day off to serve our communities. That's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, so if you have some time, get out there. Anyway, we have 4 things to review. And we have another discussion board and a progress checkpoint, which will kind of double as the rough draft of your upcoming paper. So, I hope you're not starting this late Sunday night. To start, let's just jump right into choosing search terms for sources. And here it is. It's a quick shot of understanding where to start with search terms. Truthfully, I'm not too keen on this page as some of the information is nowhere detailed enough. And some of it is antiquated and incorrect. So let me give you some ideas. The research plan here is a solid one with a couple of tweaks. You are already selecting the debatable academic topic. Great, there's step 1. And where I lost myself. Yes, there we go. You obviously must read more about the topic. Your research questions must have developed and listed ideas. And then you can create some search terms for search to, look for sources. Okay, so there's an issue here. You see the problem? Well, other than the GIF. In order to read more about the topic, you have to search for the sources first. So how can you read in step 2 when you're searching in step 4? Basically, you need to select the topic, generate the research questions next, then get the search terms, and then find the sources to read once you do that, you go back and ask better questions or revise the old ones and then do the process over again. It's more cyclical and less only 4 steps. The next part, I disagree with this almost completely. First, there was a search engine in the good old days before man went on social media called Ask Jeeves. Ah, yes, there he is. The only way to get what you wanted was to ask Jeeves, who, as you can see here, is a cartoon butler, kind of like a really dorky Alfred from Batman. Well, you would ask him a question, a literal question, people. Just because Jeeves has long since retired does not mean that you can't still ask questions if you can't get started. The point that whomever wrote this page is trying to get across is that the volume of words that you use within your search will affect the returning results. The more you put in, the less you get back. The less you put in, the more you get back. Why? The search looks for all of the words mentioned. So, if your search is too specific, you're going to miss some things. If you put in medical practice Gettysburg, you might actually get results telling you that the Gettysburg Medical College also practices golf on Thursdays. You'd have to add certain keywords, like Civil War in quotes, and then you can see the result. You might want to take out certain things, like adding a hyphen for minus or the word golf in there to eliminate that result. There are certain ideas called Boolean or Boolean operators. I don't know. I've heard it pronounced both ways. Boolean. You can use a plus sign or a minus sign. Are they down here? I think so. Nope, they're not. Anyway, the Boolean operators, you can use a plus sign for and, or a minus sign for not, or the word or, to manipulate the results accordingly. And then, of course, there's still the need, the absolute desire by one instructor who wrote this page, I don't even know who that was, to use CREDO, even though it's my least favorite of all the database search engines. You're 100% welcome to use it if you'd like. I showed it to you in the first week, but you are not required to do so. I think CREAAP is so much better. Don't forget that if you want to get to CREDO or CREAAP or any of the databases, you go back to the main portal page, find Student Success Toolbox over here on the right, scroll down until you see Library, click on that, and then underneath here you see all the databases involved. Here's CREDO up top, here's CREAAP near the bottom, okay? Next, we have finding sources on the internet. Boom. And it's really basic. However, it's necessary to remind you of one of the most important rules for looking for anything on the internet. Just because you find it on the web does not mean that it's true. I mean, my God, take a look at how old this guy's computer is, really. So this page is here to keep that in your head. Just because you can find it with a few clicks doesn't mean it's worthwhile. I would recommend watching this video right here on Google Search Tricks. We didn't do it. I believe it was created it wasn't definitely created by Delaware Tech. But I would recommend it because, honestly, there's a lot of you who probably don't even use these things like site operators. And you can narrow stuff down to an insane degree to find the best, most reputable sources possible. Underneath this, here are the Boolean operators, and an or. Combining the terms here, you can use the site operator and the Boolean. But I wanted to show you the helpful websites here. A bunch of the instructors put these together to kind of show you that, hey, you can use these to find your material, and they're pretty reputable and above board. The middle selection is a collection of reputable news sites which are as close to the middle as possible. In this time that we currently live in, everything has a left-leaning or a right-leaning bias, so finding a website which splits the difference, that's great. And you find them like these, okay? Then, down here, we get into problematic websites. First, I have some issues. Wikipedia is not a problematic website, okay? It is a tool that is misused, but it is a good place to get a general understanding of your topic. Don't be afraid to go there because your high school English teachers were lazy. Also, don't ignore all .coms because they said so. Look at the list of helpful websites again. Up here we have WashingtonPost.com. We have WallStreetJournal.com. U.S. News and World Report.com. ScientificAmerican.com. Do you get the point? Okay. Anyway, so those are commercial websites. They tend to be okay. You just have to evaluate them. What's that? We'll talk about that very, very shortly. Procon is a decent site to see the whole picture of your topic, but it doesn't lock into one side or the other, so it's not great for an argument. It just shows you everything. It doesn't actually give you one side or the other. That's where a lot of you start to stumble here. University Wire is another pretty decent website, but it's all student writing. All the research and all the attention to detail may not always be there, okay? So I would kind of avoid this simply because you never know what's going to be posted. Personal blogs and websites, always avoid them because they're nothing more than the ramblings and opinions of the site's author. There's rarely any facts to be had. Finally, those commercial websites we're talking about, the .coms that you've been warned of, they should be looked at very closely to make sure that they're not trying to simply sell you on a product. If that's the case, they'll never give you the opposing side. For example, you're never going to hear how the Big Mac actually is a pretty decent burger on the McDonald's website. Oh wait, on the Burger King website. That's what I meant. So there you go. Now we have finding journal articles, and this one isn't going to be a long one, I promise. I think it's a long-standing misconception by students and teachers alike that source material has to be incomprehensible and lofty to be any good. Don't get me wrong. There are many, many absolutely brilliant sources out there in the world that are superbly written, impeccably researched, and peer-edited beyond belief. And they are amazing complements to anyone's research. But when do you actually need them? Right now, you're enrolled in what amounts as a freshman composition course. This is practically the same course you'd have at any accredited college anywhere in this country. You are learning how to put this material together, and you are learning how to make your voice heard. What you do not need are these amazingly intricate academic journals that are geared towards those in master's level and doctorate level and beyond programs. It would be like asking my second grader to read To Kill a Mockingbird. While he might be able to get most of the words right, he'd never grasp the thread between the ideas. It's not because he's not smart enough. It's because he doesn't have that necessary experience yet. So what I'm trying to say is this. I want you to see your research and get to academic topics. I want to see how you dip your toe into the water and wade into the databases to find these journals. But don't expect to have immediate comprehension. These are things that you really have to work at to understand. So if you say, hey, Mr. Christopher, I have 2 articles that were on pulsed field ablation helping arrhythmias from the Journal of the American Medical Association and the New England Journal of Medicine, I'll say, fantastic. Can you explain them to me? Because I am definitely not well versed enough to understand the top 2 medical journals in the entire world. Can you help me? Then, after your jaw gets picked up off the floor, we can try to find a more accessible source to show you the material that you can use. So here, where to find scholarly sources, you go back to the databases. Once again, this page right here, we go to Student Success Toolbox, Library, the database is here. And you can use things like EBSCOhost. This one has been written by Delaware Tech. To show you how to use EBSCOhost. It is slightly outdated now because EBSCO just had a worldwide upgrade on their interface. So it's going to look a little bit different. But basically, it doesn't matter what kind of car you drive. It all kind of operates the same way. Okay? And then down here you can look into examples of scholarly sources like politics and law, science, arts and humanities, and history. To finish up with the material for the week, let's talk about evaluating sources. So, when we're talking about evaluating sources, hey, scholarly sources are wonderful. They're written for a high-level audience, edited by experts in the field, and published in recognizable sources. They're the best of the best, but they aren't always the best for you. Remember my example previously about my second grader reading To Kill a Mockingbird? Try this one. If you find an article that's said to be brilliant, but it's written in Swahili and you don't speak Swahili, what good is it? Use sources that you can understand and sources that fit with your audience awareness. Now, I want to spend this page talking about CRAAP. No, silly. Not poop. Crap. And not even just simple crap. I'm talking about CRAAP. I mean, seriously, what good is a semester where they got a good poop joke, right? I mean, am I even teaching if I don't go there? Anyway, CRAAP is an acronym that helps us determine if the source material is worth our time or not. In short, is this source crap or not? So what we have here, as you can tell, scholarly sources. Yeah, I just talked about that. Hey, here they are. Woo! And then down here, we have all these different videos that you can talk about. You know, this one is how you do purpose and so forth. But here is what CRAAP is, my friends. So, there are 5 elements here. There is C for currency, which has nothing to do with money. It's all about the timeliness of the information, aka, is it current or not? Is it relevant to my needs? Does it really fit with my thoughts, my research? Or is this just something that looked kind of cool that I wanted to throw in? But it's completely irrelevant. Authority, the source of the information. It's got everything to do with author and where and how it was published. Accuracy, simply put, is it true or is it not? And purpose, the reason why the information exists. Now, there are 3 general purposes I want to talk to you about. I want you to think about PIE, P-I-E, persuade, inform, entertain. Those are the general purposes. Most everything falls into one or both or 2 of those sources. However, you go a little bit further and you can create a specific purpose. No longer is it just to persuade, but it is to persuade individuals to accept the idea of vaccinations in modern day America. Okay, great. That's a pretty specific purpose now. So all of these ideas are right here for you to read, and all of these bullet-pointed questions right here are going to be incredibly helpful for you in your coming papers. Hint, hint. Down here, you can watch more videos. These were all made by Delaware Tech's library system. And we've got currency and relevance, accuracy, authority, and once again, purpose. I would highly recommend watching them. I have the links on the announcement, so you can easily take a look at them and see them there. All right. Now we're down to the announcements. We're almost done. Or not the announcements, the assignments. We're almost done. Okay? So here we have 2 assignments this week. The second part of the discussion board directly dealing with your topic, and then the Unit 1 Exploratory Research Planner. The original planner that was provided wasn't terrible, but I didn't like it, so I redid it. I think this one is much better to manipulate, and the end result is far more readable. You can access it by clicking the link right here to get to this page, and then to download the template, go right here to Exploratory Research Planner, click this link here, and you'll see this gorgeous thing. Yes, it is 4 pages, but as you can see, it's 4 pages of formatting, okay? Well, 3.5. But it's all formatting. All I want you to do, put your cursor in the white boxes, and you can type whatever you'd like in here, okay? As you do this, the box will grow and shrink depending on what you type. You do not have to print it out and write very small in there and take pictures. It doesn't need to be like that. If you do not have Microsoft Word, you can always download the file to your computer and then open it up in Google Docs. It'll work the same way, okay? So that's all very helpful. What do you have to do in here? Well, first, give me the idea of your general topic. And I will be getting back to you very shortly about what I think of your initial topics. Then, under your introduction paragraph, you've got different boxes here, okay? What might be an interesting way to get your peers interested in the topic? What would grab their attention? Are you going to use a short story, an anecdote? Are you going to use a shocking statistic or a famous name, okay? Is there anything that people would have to know to grasp the basics of your topic? Is it something overly technical? Do you have to give some definitions? Is it historical? Do you have to give a lead-in to it? What is one side of the debate? Notice I don't say, what is one side, what is the other side. I say, what is one side and what is another side? Because some of you may have picked topics that have multiple perspectives. So basically, give me your side, what you're going to argue, and one of the other sides that argue against you. And then, what is your initial position? What do you think about the topic? So, if I'm writing about the need for an international cyber police force, I'll say that there is a need, and I'll say that there isn't a need. And then here I'll say, due to the rise in cybercrime globally, there has to be an international cyber police force that can work across country boundaries, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Then you need to find two sources. One source is going to support one side. The other source is going to support the other side. I want you to give me the rhetorical information here. Who are the authors? What is the date of publication or update? It has to be within 5 years. Nothing older than that. What is the title of the article? Where did you get it? Is it a website? Is it a journal article? Is it a magazine, a newspaper, whatever? And then tell me the website specifically. http://www.whatever. Okay? And then we're going to start to write the summary here. So I have given you a template. So if you follow this template for any summary, it'll be fantastic. In the article, tell me the article's title. Published in or on, tell me the date. Located in, tell me where you got it from. Not the URL, just like the journal entry or the website or whatever. The authors, and then tell me who the authors are. Provide the view that, illustrate that, maintain that, argue that, whatever verb you want to use. And then give me the original author's thesis statement. You give me this as a starting sentence, and you're going to have a great beginning to your summary. And then, what is the overall view of the author? Are they just trying to give you information? Are they trying to argue one side or the other? Hint, they should be trying to argue one side or the other. And then give me some major details. What are some of the biggest ideas in that article that you can talk about? 1, 2, 3. And then give me a citation. Remember, we're using APA. So you're going to have a parenthesis, and then last name, and then the year, and then the page or paragraph number goes right here. Okay? And honestly, the last name and the year are going to be the exact same for every one of these citations. It's just the paragraph number or the page is going to be different. Okay? Then once you're done summarizing, you're going to evaluate the source. How does the source relate to your topic or answer your current research questions? How is this source relevant, significant to your research process? Basically, why is the source any good? Why do you think? Okay? And then you're going to run through the CRAAP test. Well, why does it pass the currency section? It's within 5 years. Fantastic. Is it relevant to your topic? What are the authors like? You're going to have to actually go to Google and figure out who these authors are and find out what sort of education they have. Where do they work? Things like that. Accuracy. A quick fact check. Are these ideas correct or not? And then purpose. What do you think the author was trying to get across in their document? Then, what are the strengths of the source that you found? Why do you think that source is so good? But also, what are some of the weaknesses that might be exploited by the other side? What are some things in that source that might be scary weak? Okay? So that's source 1. Source 2 does the exact same thing except for source 2. And then down here we get to the conclusion paragraph, which is basically just wrapping everything up. What insights have you gained from researching? Basically, what have you learned that you didn't already know? Or what have you learned that you were already mistaken about in terms of your topic? Why do you believe the sources you found were actually valuable to your research? And what elements do you believe that you need to research further in order to have a more full understanding of your topic? Very easy questions here. Just fill in the boxes. And then finally, you're going to use these 2 boxes to put your references in. Please understand that I want you to use APA style. And if you go to that link, hold on. Here we go. If you go to this link right here, it will take you to the Purdue OWL website, and it will show you exactly what you need to do for APA, including this Cite Your Source automatically in APA. It's a great place to start, but it's not going to be perfectly correct. So, that's what I want you to do for this. It's going to take you a little while, but it's going to be worthwhile when you look at what you need to do for next week. Finally, we have the topic development brainstorm. It's another discussion board. It's quick and easy. Click on this link to get here, and then I want you to answer 3 basic questions. What is the topic that you will be researching for the rest of the semester? Why is this topic interesting or important to you and to your audience? What are 3 possible debatable questions you could post regarding your topic? I personally would do this one before you do the planner. So once you get down here, I have another sample. I show you, hey, here is the topic I'm going to do. Here's why it's important for me and for my audience. And then down here are 3 possible debatable questions I can use. Once you're done, you've got to go back and reply to 2 of your peers, and that's it. Pretty easy, right? That's a lot of material masquerading as not a lot. Told you. Have a great week. We're just over 26 minutes in. I'm sorry. Reach out if you need me, but do so early. Don't stress towards the end. I'll be looking forward to seeing where your ideas are with the Exploratory Research Essay Planner. See ya.